were just doing some senior projects, lab work and stuff, when one of the professors, I can't remember his name offhand, came to us and said, "Hey, would you guys like to join on this team, you know?" I said, "What the heck is this?" And he explained to us, and I said, "Hey, that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, let's do it."
I just remember that when I joined the team, I had just pretty much started at Ford. And I remember at the end of the race, I'm thinking, man, this engineering work is really exciting and fun.
We brought 3 cars. We had a yellow van, we had a pickup truck, which we lightly called Nova, because if the 150 gallons of gasoline ever got loose, it'd be kind of a Nova. So we entered the race, had a great time. We completed the course with, I don't think any penalty points. Probably, I think 40 or 43 cars that made it. 8 cars made it across with no breakdowns. It was by no means a walk-away win. We had to work very hard at it.
That race was pretty grueling, I guess. I mean, we were driving for like 10 hours a day, and then at the end of 10 hours, you could make any repairs or changes or put fuel in the vehicle. And if you're lucky, you got to bed by, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning, it seemed like. And then the next morning at 5, you got up and you took off again. I thought our car was the most, I'll say, conventional. I mean, there were a lot of cars there. I remember a steam-powered car and a bunch of other things. And I thought myself, I didn't know about from the emission point of view, but I thought from a performance point of view or handling that we would be good at, which we were. But yeah, there was a lot of competition. I mean, you think how many schools entered there. It was like, holy smokes, it was going to be a tough race. But
there were 5 classes, and one of the ones that were actually most prominent for getting good emissions was gaseous fuel. And they had some well-prepared cars, and that was pretty good competition. They had some electric cars that I think one of them didn't make it to the outskirts of Cambridge, but they did have a tow truck, and they did make it across the country. The people were at Ford, so Richard, myself, Mike, Larry, we all drove on a rotating basis. The fun thing about the car is we had to have aerodynamic to get the best fuel economy, so we kept the windows closed. They were actually plastic windows, and there was no air conditioning.
Yeah, no air conditioning.
It was just toasty.
One other technology that we advanced to some degree was the exhaust gas recirculation system, EGR, because that was also probably not introduced until about the same time catalysts were starting to be introduced.
I remember staying at a lot of colleges along the way in the dormitories for a few hours of sleep that we had.
They had pre-arranged parking for all of our cars, sort of as an exhibit in a sense. The locals could come out and see the cars and talk to us.
I remember the film crew riding in a station wagon at 70 miles an hour with the gate open in the back and a guy filming as they'd go by. And they go by, if we were doing 70, they go by fast and then they close in on us. That was always kind of hairy, but they were very professional in that regard.
We had good support from Ford for obvious reasons, and Engelhart was a good sponsor also for our catalyst, which of course was very important, and that was relatively early technology for emissions control.
I was a very, very low engineer at the time, and I had chief engineers calling me and asking me what I needed.
In the early part of '71, I started at Ford. It probably helped me, was good on my resume. Then I worked for the next 35 plus years at Ford, along with Al Rathpaw. So
there was a lot of national interest in this race. The fact that we were overall winners generated a lot of interest. New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, it was in all the publications. So we surely put Wayne State on the map at that time. There's no question about it.
I remember Gaylord Nelson making a big deal out of this, and he said that, well, these college kids can put together something that is well below our current emissions level. So he put a lot of pressure on the auto company. You have to put this all into context, and those of you that are younger than us, at that time, that was a very important thing about the environment. It was just starting. There was a lot of student activity and interest in it. So I think it was quite important to have such astounding results that had a high performance car that showed the technology is there. The auto industry did turn around, and there was a lot of pressure, a lot of political pressure. So this was an indication and an enabler for companies like Ford to say, these guys put this together in a high performance car.
Proud to be representing Wayne State, and the outcome, of course, was not necessarily expected, of course, but that was really made it extra special.